Hello students, how are you all? I hope all of you are doing very good. So welcome all of you at an AriserTalent. AriserTalent is actually an e-learning platform where you can get the video lectures recorded by the expert faculty of the Kota. So we will provide you the lectures associated with JEE, NEET, NTSE and the CBSE you are searching for. Along with it, you are also provided with the chapter notes, class notes, test series and the sample paper. So time to time you can judge your performance and you can analyze yourself by doing more and more problems. So what you have to do, you have to just subscribe our channel for getting more amazing videos like this. So just subscribe our channel, press the bell icon and get more videos timely to enhance your knowledge. So we have started a chapter of physics that is chapter number 3 of the physics, that is about the light reflection and refraction. And in our previous lecture we have a discussion about reflection, laws of reflection and a description about the plane mirrors. So in our today's lecture we are going to start our new topic, and that is about the spherical mirrors. And again this topic is very much important as optics is not a part of up to the class 10th level, because you have to study in 11th and 12th that part of the optics if you are taking the science stream. So you have to clear your basics from here to clear your more ideas and getting more ideas about the optics in this session. So just go through this video very clearly, so each and every term must be clear to you. So we are starting with the spherical mirrors now and few of the important terms related to it. Spherical mirrors. As the name is indicating, the spherical mirrors are the mirrors which will be the part of a big sphere. So it means mirrors which are a part of a hollow big sphere will be known as the spherical mirrors. So if I am drawing the sphere like this, and if I am cutting a part of the sphere from it, so a part of the hollow sphere of the mirror will be known as our spherical mirror. So we can write here a spherical mirror is a part of hollow sphere. So if I am cutting any part of the sphere from this, I will definitely get the spherical mirror. Now you have observed that if in hospitals the dentist uses a mirror to check your teeth. If you have any ailment or if you have any decay in the tooth, the dentist just uses a mirror to check out your teeth. So what is that mirror? That mirror will be the spherical mirror. We have seen that in the telescopes we are using a very big mirrors, and these mirrors are actually our spherical mirrors we have. So in case of the spherical mirrors, it is a part of a big sphere. So if I am going to cut a part of that mirror, I will get the two type of the mirror, that is the convex one and the concave one. So if this is our hollow sphere, and if I am going to cut the part of that mirror, suppose I am going to cut this part of the mirror here. So if I am going to cut this part of the mirror, what I will get here? We will get this part. You can see that we will get a part like this. If I am going to cut the part from the sphere, I will get this part, and the remaining part of the sphere can be look like somewhat this. It means we are cutting this part from here. So if you taking a part of the hollow spheres or any mirror, you can say that you are getting the spherical mirror you have. But if you are getting a part in such a way that the part is having a silvery polished on its outside surface, if the silver polished in its outside surface, we will always get a concave mirror, and if it is polished inwards, we will get the convex mirror. Suppose if this is our whole sphere and I'm going to cut this part from the mirror, so if you are getting the mirror like this, so this is the form of the cave we have. So if this part is like this and its outer surface is polished, you can say that this will be our concave mirror, just like a cave word we have. Now, so we will get two types of mirror here. The first one is concave mirror and the second one is convex mirror. So we have two type of the mirrors, that is the convex one and the concave one. Now, these are the two type of the mirrors we have, and we can see that if you cut a part of the sphere and if the silvery polished surface is outside, we can say that the mirror will be concave, and if the silver polished is done inside, you can say that convex. So what will happen in concave mirror, the mirror is in the form of the cave and it is bulging outwards. You can say that this part will be bulging outwards, and we can say that this is just like a cave we have. So in simple terms, I can write here, if mirror is polished outside, it means that silver polish will be outside. We can say that this will be our concave mirror, and if the mirror has silver polished inside, I can say that this will be our convex mirror. So this is the basic and most important thing regarding the mirrors. So this is the thing about the concave and convex mirror. So spherical mirror are those mirrors which is a part of any hollow sphere, and I have told you that these are usually used by the dentist and these are used in the telescopes too. So just remind that point. These are used by a dentist, and secondly, they are used in telescope. So remind these points too. Now, let's move again to concave and convex mirror. As we have discussed that this kind of the mirrors are polished outwards and this kind of the mirrors are polished inwards. And what about the reflection now? In case of concave mirror, if the surface is polished outwards, then the reflection will going to take place in the inward direction. And in case of convex mirror, just opposite case will take place. As the surface is polished inwards, the reflection will going to take place from the outward surface. So if I'm drawing the mirrors like this, this is the simple thing which is representing concave and convex mirror. So you can see that if the mirror is polished outwards, it means this silver polishing is done outwards. We can say that mirror is the concave one. So polishing is done outwards. Similarly, if polishing is done outwards, you can say that the reflection will be going to take place inwards. So where will be the reflection take place? Reflection inwards. So this will be our concave mirror. Now, just look at the second case. You can see that the silver coating is done inwards. If silver coating is inwards, this is convex mirror. And what about the reflection? If the silver coating is done inwards, the reflection will take place from the outward surface. So in case of convex mirror, reflection will going to take place outwards. So this is a very simple thing. You can just remind that you have to learn only one simple case, that is about the concave. In case of concave, the surface will be polished outwards, so reflection will going to take place in the inward direction. So this is a very simple thing we have. So we have seen that what is difference between the convex and concave mirror. I am again repeating, when the surface is polished inwards, we can say that the mirror will be the convex one, and if the surface or the silvery polished is done outwards, we can say that the mirror will be our concave one. Now, we have to know a very important terms regarding that mirror. So now let's move to that terms, but before that, just copy this part from here. So now let's discuss about some important terms. Now, we will discuss some of the important terms that are related to the spherical mirror. So let's draw the spherical mirrors first. These are the spheres which are representing from which how the spherical mirrors are taken, and we have drawn the convex and concave mirror. Now you have to deal with very important terms that are related to this part. So firstly, I'm discussing about the aperture of the mirror. Now what is the aperture of the mirror? Aperture is actually the part of the mirror, or we can say that the diameter of that spherical mirror from which this part is cut off. So you can say that the size of the mirror will give you the aperture of the mirror. So what is our first term? The first term we are going to discuss here is about aperture. So we can say that the diameter of that mirror will give you the aperture of the mirror. So in this case, if I am taking this whole part as a diameter, this whole size of the mirror will known as the aperture. So aperture will be exactly equal to size of mirror. The size of the mirror, or you can say that the diameter of that spherical mirror will give you the aperture of the mirror. So the size of the mirror will give us the aperture of the mirror, and we can say that the diameter of the mirror will be our aperture. So you can see that this AB and this AB here, this part is here. So we can say that the size of the aperture in the diagram is AB. So size of the mirror is AB, and I can say that this part will be our aperture. This part will be aperture. Now, let's move to the second term. Second term is about the pole of the mirror. Second term is pole of mirror. Now, the pole of the mirror is that point which is the center of the mirror. It means the mirror is having that point exactly in that of the part which is separated from it will be called as the pole of the mirror. So, if I am considering here the pole of the mirror, here will be, this will be our center of curvature, that is a mirror is a part, and after that the mirror which is cut from here is exactly the part we are having, and this will be our pole. The part of the mirror, it means the center of the mirror will give you the pole of the mirror. So, if this is the mirror and this is I am taking as a center, so this will be our pole in this case. So, if I am drawing the pole here, what I will get here? This will be our pole. The center of the mirror is known as the pole. This is mirror, so this is our pole. So, what is the pole of the mirror? The center part of the mirror is known as pole of the mirror. Center part of the mirror will be called as the pole of the mirror. Now, let's move to the third term. The third term is center of curvature. Third term is center of curvature. Now, what is center of curvature? The center of the sphere will be known as a center of curvature of which the mirror is a part. I'm again repeating, the center of the mirror is known as the pole, and the center of the sphere will be known as the center of curvature. So, you can see that this is the center of the sphere, and here this is the center of sphere. So, if I am labeling here, if this mirror is a part of that sphere, so I can say that if this is our center, so this point will be center of curvature in this part, and this point will be center of curvature in this part. So, the center of curvature is actually the center of the sphere of which the mirror is a part. So we can say that the center of curvature is a center of sphere of which mirror is a part. And you can see that we have denoted the center of curvature by C. You can see that we have labeled C in case of center of curvature. So you can see that we have discussed about the three terms here. First one is aperture. Aperture will give you the size of the mirror. Pole of the mirror, center part of the mirror will be called as the pole of the mirror. Center of curvature, the center of the sphere of which mirror is a part, is known as the center of curvature. Now, our next term is what is principal axis. So the fourth term here we have is principal axis. Now, what is principal axis? You can see that this is a straight line. If I am going to separate these lines, now you can see that there is a straight line which is passing through pole and center of curvature. You can see that this is a straight line passing through center of curvature and pole. So we will call this line as a principal axis. So which is our principal axis here? This will be our principal axis. This is our principal axis, and in this case, this line will be principal axis. So principal axis is a line which is going to pass through the pole and center of curvature. So we can say that line passing through pole and center of curvature. So this will be called our principal axis. Now, our next term is that what is focus? This is a very important point, but what you have to do, just copy this part from here so we can write or describe about the focus here. Now, our next term is about the radius, focus of the mirror. So our next term, that is our fifth term, is about the focus of mirror. So the focus of a mirror is a point where the light rays after reflection meet or converge or diverge at particular point. If I am drawing a converging or the diverging diagram for these rays, suppose this is our mirror and this is polished inwards. It means reflection in this mirror is going to take place from outside. So if the reflection is going to take place from outside, if in this case this mirror is polished inside. If this mirror is polished inside, I can say that this is our convex mirror. So what will happen in this case? In case of the convex mirror, the reflection will going to take place from outside surface. And you can say that rays after reflection will going to meet at a point. It means if rays are converging at a point, that point will be known as our focus. So this will be the focus because rays are meeting here. So in case of convex mirror, if rays are converging at a point, we can say that this point will be the focus of that mirror. So focus is actually a point where the parallel beams of light after converging going to meet here. So in case of convex and concave mirror, we have a different focus because in this mirror you can see that the rays are converging at a point. But in case of the other one, you can see that rays seems to be converged, but actually they are going to diverge at a point. So in this case, we will not get the exact position where the rays are meeting. So in this case, we have convex mirror and this is our focus. So focus of a convex mirror is a point where the rays after converging going to meet. And you can also call a focus of a mirror as a principal focus also. Now, this is the case of the convex one you have. Now, let's move to the case of the concave part. So, concave part I am drawing here. This is our concave mirror as it is polished outwards. So, this will be our concave mirror. If the light rays will incident on it, they are going to incident from the outward surface because this surface is not polished here. So, light rays in this case will going to be incident here. So, after this, so in case of concave mirror, you can see that the reflection will take place from the outward surface, the part which is not polished, and you can see that rays after reflection will diverge here. In this case, the rays will be diverging and you will not get the exact point where the rays are meeting because in case of convex one, you can see that the rays are converging at the single point. But in this case, we will get a diverging lines. So that will be called as a focus of the mirror and we can also call it as a principal focus. Now, this will be our fifth term. Now, let's move to the sixth term we have. The sixth term we have is about the radius of the mirror. Sixth term is about radius. Now, what will be the radius of the mirror? The radius of that sphere of which the mirror is a part is known as the radius of the mirror. So, in this case, you can see that this will be called as the radius. This will be our radius. And in this case, you can see that this will be radius. So, the radius of the sphere of which mirror is a part is known as the radius of that mirror. So, this is very simple that what actually the radius here is. Now, the next thing is about the focal length. Seventh term we have is about focal length. Now, what is focal length? So, the focal length is actually a distance between the center of curvature, the pole and the focus of a mirror. So, you can see that the distance between focus and pole will be known as our focal length. So, if I am considering that our pole, this will be the pole as it is the center of the mirror, and the focal length will be the distance that the pole and the focus where the lights meet will have in this part. So, that will be our focal length. Now, the last term in this category is known as the principal section. So, principal section is actually a plane that is perpendicular to the principal axis. So, if I am considering that part of the mirror, so this part, this is our principal axis. This thing is our principal axis. So I can see that this whole part is our principal plane. So the 8th term we have is about the principal plane, and I'm writing it here. Principal plane. So the plane which is perpendicular to the principal axis and lying in this part of the mirror will be known as our principal plane. So you can see that we have discussed 8 types of the terms here, and these terms are actually very, very important. So I'm again repeating. First term we have discussed is about the aperture. Second term we have is about the pole. Third term we have is the center of curvature. Fourth term we have seen is about radius. Fifth one is the focus of the mirror. Sixth will be the focal length. Seventh will be the principal section we have. And one more term we are left with, that is known as the principal axis. So these are the 8 terms, and you have to learn these terms with a proper definition and labeling here, that where actually these are situated. So this lecture is all about the convex and convex mirror. So this lecture is over here. We will deal with how the rays and the images are formed in case of both these type of the mirror, and uses of convex and concave mirror in our next lecture. So thank you so much and have a nice day.